See, and the thing is, right, and it has to be something. Like I said, it has to be something I'm comfortable with. That's the one thing about being consistent and consistency is if you can do something consistent that you are comfortable with and that you like to do, that makes it a lot better. And something that's more in tune and in line of who you are, that makes it a lot better. I remember a friend of mine told me like, yeah, I never looked at you as like a podcast type or anything like that. And I understood what he was talking about because like me neither. But this is where there's a market for this type of stuff, right? There's a market for conversation. There's a market for that. So it's like supply and demand. If I can supply something that's in high demand, then let's see where it goes. And remember, I told you I'm like give it 10 years type. So if I do this times 10 years live, then see where it's going. Like I'm not in a rush. I just want to know and see like incremental improvements through the weeks or the months, whatever it is. And if I see that, it's like, okay, all right, now that gives me enough energy to keep going. But like you said, that's going to come with consistency, constantly coming. And right now, yeah, I know that now I could be heard. So right now, you saved me for the day right now. But there's not going to always be somebody to be there on the other end. Like if I have somebody on the other end, I can go for hours. That's easy. I can go for hours because I love to speak. But I also have to practice on the monologues, you know? That's really important for me, you know, because I'm like I said, I'm a big time freedom of speech dude. So I like for people to just speak. So I want to be able to say the stuff that I want to say, and I got to be able to do it by myself. But as long as I know I could be heard, that was fine. So now I know exactly what to do, because what I was confused with was the browser. Do I need to have the browser on? Do I have to click the speaker and put the browser on, like in the browser? So I asked the AI and they said no. So now that I know I can be heard, I know exactly what to do. So now that's my issue. Now my battle with myself is like, damn, there's no excuses now.
Yeah, and now you're either gonna do it or you gotta sit in it.
Right. And what happens is too, where you can be confused, and what I do is, I start to like do a lot of things in bulk, I guess, and just do a whole bunch of things at one time, and then I fall back and relax a little bit instead of just being consistent and doing something every Thursday or something like that. You understand what I'm saying? And I feel like, okay, because I do a lot of volume, that I hide the fact that I'm not consistent. And I know that in my head that, damn, it's probably a lot better to just be consistent. And that gain and that improvement, especially when you're doing organic, it's not a fast improvement neither. It's a very, very slow improvement. So like it's a funny like back and forth that I play with myself. Pause. No, my bad, yo. My bad, bro. My bad.
Look, it wouldn't be you without saying something like that.
Yeah, no. My bad. I didn't mean to do that.
Nah. There's no AO. There's none of that. Nah, we just gonna let you ride.
Nah, yeah. I'm good, man. I'm good. I was supposed to talk today about the drones in the sky. Like, there's been drones spotted in Jersey.
I heard like SUV-sized drones. When I spoke to I was speaking to my mom. I think my mom and my dad when it was reported on the news and everything, and I'm just like, at this point, it's a lot of unseriousness that's just put out there, and honestly, people gonna do whatever they gonna do. Live your life, because you can't worry about none of this stuff like that.
All right.
Like, I was listening to the Breakfast Club, and they were talking about, they were just like, because they're saying, if you see anything like this, call the cops, call the police. Police is like, what the heck? Like, what you calling us for? What we gonna do?
They're gonna like
this. Yo, we human too.
Right. Like, drive under it.
It was laughable.
Drive under it and just turn your lights on. Like, what?
Because you figure in Jersey, I believe they have you can conceal and carry it over there now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Or so. There are there's some type of gun laws in Jersey, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, please someone correct me.
Don't worry, there's no one here. You're good,
eventually,
bro.
eventually, because if you keep this and you turn it into something else, like you know how on IG you could put the live and then you can post it as a reel later on.
Yeah, I just leave. I'm just gonna leave
So,
everything out. Like just leave it. Like this, let's let it go. Everything like organic. Like this, go. You know, all of the polished stuff is you can get that with AI, and that's the issue. People don't want anything to.
but not,
Go ahead. What you got? My fault. I'm talking too
yeah,
much.
no, 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 yeah, but
It's all good.
nah. To go back to what I was saying, basically they were saying like now people were thinking like people may start shooting at these drones and everything like that, and it's like if that happens, what it gets to a point where I'm just like, it is what it is. It is what it is. There's a like this world is so huge, and a lot of stuff that happens in the United States, and they make it seem like it's only in the United States. Like aliens can go anywhere in this world, but they can only go straight to the United States.
Wait, check this out, right? I thought about those balloons, right? As soon as I thought about the balloons, I said, like, where was there? I look at it like, this is a stretch now. I look at it as terrorism. Because here you go, you have an unidentified flying object in the sky, and you mean to tell me our intelligence and our government cannot just like, I'm over here thinking like, oh, like comic book ways of like taking the drones down, like putting a big net around it or tracking it or shoot. They can't do anything. Are you kidding me? I read this book a long time ago called End of Power by Moises Naim. And he was talking about like natural insurgents when it comes to like terrorism and things of that nature. It doesn't take much. How crazy it is, it doesn't take much. It just takes somebody with some radical thinking that decides to look on the internet, figure some stuff out, put some stuff together. If they have any type of like savvy with them and they're smart, they just decide to just do anything they want to do. Look at the guy who shot the medical what's it? The
And
healthcare
that's
guy.
that's still up. And that was another thing that I was listening to in that podcast yesterday, and everybody's been speaking on it, and whether it's they think the guy is the actual person that did it, whether they think um, it was a bad thing, whether they think it was a good thing. Uh,
Wait,
Me
hold on.
personally,
How would you think taking somebody else's life like that is a good thing? How
exactly.
could you
But
possibly
that's
think
just it.
that?
That's just it. Some people are looking at it. There's a lot of people, not even some. There's a lot of people who have the perspective that they're like, oh well, this is what happens with insurance companies and all this stuff that they're doing, and I understand that. That's that vigilante justice. I understand that, but killing the CEO is not going to change the policy.
See, that's the problem I have when it comes to the.
Nothing changed. Killing and honestly, I don't know if people fear God. I still fear God. We're just not out here killing people because they wronged us. Because then
Here's
the next step is going to be we're just going to might as well shit. Trump coming back into office.
here's my
Might as well
thing.
just go ahead and have a purge.
Here's my thing. Let me hear the facts of all of the things being wrong. It takes a lot more, articulation when you break down the facts in each case and hundreds of cases. Like people are just taking like just to take this instance in this when they say the healthcare, all of the stuff that the healthcare companies are doing. Like all of the stuff that the healthcare companies are doing. No, I need you to give me 10 things that the healthcare companies are doing so I can look at them myself and say, oh, okay, now I see this is why you should blow somebody or shoot somebody and kill them. Like,
It's never
would I
no
come up? Hold on.
violence is never the answer.
Right. I'm about to say, would I come with that conclusion if I was able to look at all the facts? And people get mad when I say that. I want to look at every single one of the facts myself. Let me look at it myself. I'll go over it and I come back to you tomorrow and I can tell you what I'm already thinking I want to tell you is like, yeah, something was wrong with the kid. Something was wrong with the kid. There's never like, come on, where are we going with this? He's gonna get off like the brothers, right? This is what we're doing now.
I agree with Robert. He put in the comments, why was there more coverage on the CEO being shot than school shooting?
Oh snap! Somebody I don't even know somebody was in the comment section. My fault. Where are
Now
you
look at
seeing
this,
this?
and I agree with that 100%.
Where are you
What's
seeing
mine?
this?
Maybe because I'm on mobile, I'm on
Yeah,
my phone, so they have it set up to where I can just see the comments.
Yeah,
I can
I gotta
press
figure it
into the
out.
comments.
I gotta figure it out, but
But
I can't see anything.
but 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 no, to answer Robin, no, I agree with that. I agree with that because here's the thing: there's people in other countries. These are the podcasts that I was listening to yesterday were actually people from Canada, and then you know, with me, I have people in Europe asking me, "Oh, what's going on with the CEO shooting?" You see what I mean? So just with stuff like that, that became a world thing. But when these kids are being shot, they're not putting it out there. But it's unfortunate. Loss of life is never okay, especially like regardless. We just can't start killing people just because we don't like the way they did stuff. And I agree that the insurance companies are they're not good. And this is coming from someone who worked previously in health insurance.
So give me an
How
example.
things work.
Give me an
I was
example
never.
of something.
It never felt okay.
So give me an
Never felt
example.
okay.
Oos, hold on. Give me an
Okay,
example
look
of
at
something.
this. Look at this. When it comes for people to be able to get MRIs.
So talk about where you
Some of
worked for before. Hold on. Oos, talk about where you worked before first.
I'm not going to put no companies out there. There's no reason to. I'm
Okay,
not
so
going
you
to
work for
give anybody any type of. I worked for a major health insurance company previously, and when I worked for them, it was a situation where people would always get denied. They wouldn't be able to get MRIs, and it's like you want them. If someone has their knee is damaged, they go ahead and say, "Oh well, I need to get an MRI." They want these people to go ahead and do some type of rehab or something physical therapy. My knee is not in a position where I can do physical therapy, but you're telling me that I have to do physical therapy in order to be predetermined to be able to have an MRI. Make it make sense. My knee is a problem. I can't. I can barely step on it. You're telling me to do some type of rehab, or you're trying to tell me to do some type of physical therapy. And even when people have done that physical therapy, it's like, okay, I did the physical therapy. Okay, well, you have to do even more of this, even more of that. The hoops that people have to go through
So Oos,
is
before
crazy. But I think partially, but hold on, Wes. I think partially some of that has to do with the amount of fraud that happens with insurance.
that's what I was about to say. Like the people that are telling the people to hold off on an MRI, that's the insurance company. So the doctors and insurance company are not in they're not in cahoots with each other.
They're not. They're not. Like honestly, because with me, I would have to call providers from time to time. I would have the client, and I would have to call providers, and I would have to go ahead and ask. Uh, they'll say, "Well, this isn't." Let's say it's a situation where John Smith wants to. He did everything. He got the physical therapy. There's still a problem with his knee. They did the X-rays. It's still a problem with his knee. Now they need to do an MRI because we need to see what's going on with his knee. The provider, they can't do anything if the people need a referral. The provider are waiting for the insurance and their predetermination to allow them to get the referral so they can, do the MRI. So the client, John Smith, calls us. Hey, I'm at the place right now. They said that I haven't gotten approved for for to get the MRI for my knee. Now they'll call us and everything. We'll call the providers. Yes, what seems to be the problem? Yeah, we never got the predetermination letter. I have to go and check in my system, see what it is, because where I wasn't in the predetermination department of it, so I wasn't in a place where I'm approving or disapproving people. I have to call the people who approves it and ask them. This person said they went ahead and did this. They went ahead and did this. Now they may be waiting for the doctor to send the letter that okay, this person has completed the physical therapy, and things are supposed to go like this. If they were done efficiently, people work on their pace. People don't. Some people they are so detached from it. I understand how they become detached, because of the fact that if they see how many, you could cry every single day just looking at how many people get denied for stuff. So I understand where people are coming from with that, but I also don't agree with just killing people because of it. And I don't think that was the real reason that person was murdered.
Yeah, because like I said, I heard
don't think it was that.
I heard all the
I
stuff
just think that's what's put out there in the public.
I heard all the stuff you're saying. It didn't warrant any type of anything as far as murder at all. You know, at all. Like I didn't understand it quite all the way through, but I can see that there's.
Think about it. There was a.
Hey, your audio comes in and out.
Club yesterday.
The audio goes in and out, and in and out. I don't know why it does that. I don't see you doing anything different, but.
Do you need me to take these off?
It goes.
I think I have my string on.
Yeah, it goes up and down for some reason. I don't know. I don't know if like the closer you get to something, maybe it does that.
Maybe it does that.
Yeah, I hear you kind of low. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's perfect. Now you're not. You were in and out before.
Basically, so there was this woman who she needed some type of equipment, and they were going back and forth. They would not let her get the equipment. This woman wound up dying, and I'm not speaking about my personal story or anything like that I've seen, or I'm speaking about something I just heard on the Breakfast Club yesterday. It was talking about, there was one gentleman speaking about how his mom needed a certain equipment to basically live. She kept getting denied. She wound up passing away.
Why was she getting denied? Did he say why she was getting denied? Did they say?
She was getting denied because she wasn't meeting a certain standard. But the day that she died, about a week or so, sometime after that, the equipment finally came to the house. They said, oh, there was a change in the status. And you know what was the change in the status?
What? She was approved?
It just paused.
No, she approved?
Because she died. Death.
Oh.
Death was the change in the status, and that's why she got approved.
That's why she got approved.
Yes. That's the whole thing, Wes. The healthcare system is stupid. It's stupid. Stupid.
Like I said, I don't know much about the healthcare system. I haven't studied the healthcare system. I haven't gotten to that yet. Only thing I've gotten was a ACL surgery, and I had a surgery where my nose was broke, and I had insurance for both of them. It went smoothly. So that's all I know. I don't know anything else. I know I have back pain and I'm not going to get back surgery. I don't trust that enough. I said, when my shit really, really, really hurts, that's when I'll go get back surgery. But like, I haven't done research on that, on the healthcare or anything like that. I know it's very expensive. I thought it was something like that. But when it comes to like coverages and stuff like that, I had no idea like that type of, those type of situations could happen.
Yeah, it gets bad. And a lot of times you have a lot of elderly people. We are in a space right now where there needs to be a better way to get across to the elderly people, because it's like not everybody is fortunate enough to have offsprings or someone in their family or close community, their environment, where they can actually have someone who's going to help them become either more technically technologically savvy, or is going to be able to assist them. And that therein lies a problem. Sometimes people want to pay for stuff, and then they may send a paper check. That paper check will not get cashed. That paper check will not see the light of day. And then it's like you're dropping someone's coverage. But it's like, it's not that they didn't pay. They just paid the snail way. They went through snail mail. They mailed their stuff out because that's what they've been doing for 50 years without any problems.
Right. I can see
And then
that. I
all
can
of
see
a
that.
sudden you're telling me like, hey, well, you got to pay this way. It's just that I agree that the health. Will there be some type of overhaul of the healthcare system? Highly doubt it. Because honestly, no one should be paying for healthcare. I get the dental, I get the vision, and all of that stuff, but I'm talking about for healthcare.
You know, if you think about it, if no one paid for healthcare, do you know how many people would be in a hospital?
You know how many people would what?
If no one paid for healthcare, do you know how many people would possibly be in a hospital right now? Just going to the emergency room because they have things that they need to get taken care of. It'll be an overflow. I would think, because it's free.
But no, it may not. It may not, because there may be, because in the hospitals, a lot of people are there because they're sick. Some people will find out that they're sick prior, so they can attack it prior to that. They can change their eating habits. They can work out. They can do a lot of stuff, or they won't be so. Because a lot of times people go to the hospital, they go to doctors when it's too late.
Right. I get that, but
or when it like but that's just it. Because think about it, you have a lot of people who are going in for cancer treatments and stuff of that nature, and it's like sometimes they probably could have got it sooner if they were going to the doctors regularly.
But if you make it free,
They
how do the
don't, because
doctors
they're
get
like,
paid? How do the nurses get
we
paid?
can look at the same way they get paid overseas. The government pays for everything on when it comes to sending money for war.
So where the money? So basically the
That's
people,
how.
the taxes will pay for it then.
We've been paying. It's not about adding on something to it, Wes. Think about how we are funding wars, we're funding all this stuff without even our permission. So that same amount of money, because for some people who are always in debt, we tend to always be giving money to everybody else in the world.
But I understand. I understand what you're saying.
Because
I wonder how
because
much
at
it'll
the end of
cost
the
though.
day,
If
we have to
everybody,
prioritize. We
right?
have to prioritize.
But if everybody went
We
to
have
the,
it.
you don't think that everybody and their mother would be in a hospital if it
We
was
have
free?
it though.
No, but if it was
Some
free,
people still won't. Some people still won't go to the hospital because some people don't like hospitals.
right? No, I get that. There was I forgot where it was, but they allowed everybody to get free electricity. That didn't work anymore because everybody and their mother were leaving the lights on, and they wouldn't turn the lights off, overdoing and using the
But
lights.
Wes,
So they had to
we don't
stop
need.
doing
We
that.
don't. We. But
I'm
here's
just
the
saying
thing,
that
Wes.
there was an example of something like something like that, a
There's
utility like
tons
that
of
being free.
examples for it. Look at other countries. Look at Europe. Look at other like continents. They have free healthcare. This isn't something that's just like, oh, a eureka moment. Like, oh yes, I think we're on to something. Let's go ahead and because it's not like it's something that doesn't work across the world. It works already across the world. People are getting free healthcare.
Now, why won't people just fly across the world and get the surgery and stuff then? Like it's probably cheaper for them to do that than pay.
If they can afford it. If they can afford it. No, Wes. It's nice to say some people.
Well, what I'm saying is
have never left the town that they were in.
Real quick, how much a cost does it cost the place that you were talking about? How much does a plane ticket cost to get there? Versus how much would health insurance cost to get what you need done here?
Wes, they can't pay for either. If I tell somebody they got to take a $1,200 flight to go to a certain place in Europe, people can't just pay for that.
Right, but how much would their surgery cost here?
People don't.
What I'm saying is the quality the quality of the surgery. I don't know, but the quality of the surgery was the same. Then people should probably maybe look into that more, right? To go into the other countries that you're talking about.
Your perspective.
But think about it, but Oos, hear me out.
No, wait.
Hear me out. No. What I'm saying is the countries that you're talking about. Why can't people? No. Why can't people? Because you cut me off way earlier. I wasn't trying to cut you off, so I'm just hear me out. With the countries that you're talking about that have free healthcare, if it costs cheaper to get a flight over there, then maybe that's something that people should consider. No,
it's free healthcare for those who live in that country. It's not free healthcare for anyone who comes to that country. So them trying to get a flight won't make any sense because they're American citizens.
Okay. Okay, so I can see
You're
that. I was just wondering, because if it's so cheap somewhere else, or if it's better somewhere else, the healthcare, like if it's health is the most important thing, shoot, I'll become a citizen. I can see myself if I needed a surgery, but it's going to be life and death, I will become a citizen somewhere else because of that.
You see,
I would be willing to do that. Would you? Would you?
If you're,
You know,
if I'm in a position where I can just go, not everybody can go.
right.
Not everybody can just go.
Well, I'm not talking about those individuals. Those individuals that can't go, that's different. But the ones that can possibly do it.
Wes, you have people who are healthy. I mean, who are not healthy. You have people who have money but will never take a plane. They don't like it. They have a phobia. They don't trust that stuff. Some people won't go across water. That's a real thing for a lot of people. I may not have that. You may not have that. But there are people who have that mentality, and it's easy to just be like, oh, you should do this, it's going to save your life. They're like, man, if I take that plane, I'm not going to make it. If I get on that boat, I'm not going to make it. You know, and that's something that they have to deal with. That's something that's mentally they have to deal with.
No, I understand that. I understand where you're coming from.
But ultimately, this is a system that it's not just one country or two countries. It's plenty of countries all across the world that have free healthcare for their citizens. We can look at that model and see how it works.
Like I said, I don't know how that model works. That's something for another episode, because that's what I want to do. I don't want to talk about that model if I don't know exactly what the pros and cons of that model are, and if it can be something that we can do over here. I don't, like I said, I just don't know what that model looks like exactly where the money has to come from somewhere. You know,
but Wes, we have where are all the miscellaneous funds that are being paid for all this stuff? We are told multiple times we don't have enough money to pay for anything. They raised our food have gone up through the roof. There's no regulation on it where they're regulating, like, okay, you can't do this, you can't do that. We're paying so much more. Inflation is down.
The problem is they don't have the answer. They don't have the answer. They're not. It's very difficult to come up with the answer, because if you purposely put and say like, okay, we're going to put the prices here, then a lot of other things are going to just fall in line. That's going to trickle down. But to your point, when it comes to the healthcare, yeah, we could look at. I can see that point of looking at other countries. I got to see what the pros and cons of having free healthcare in other countries, like how much it costs. Because to think about it, you have people
do that. It's part of people who are like. Here's the thing: a lot of these people, politicians, are by far the worst. Very few of them have integrity. A lot of them. It's nice when all of them point fingers at each other, and that goes on all sides. Democrats, Republicans, Independents.
So I don't know what just happened. We got cut off there. So Oos may have got cut off. Am I still on the Instagram stream? They probably knocked me off. But where I was going to go with it. Okay, so a couple of people still joined. I don't know if they're still here. But where I was going to go with it was this. Oh, Oos, you back? I didn't know.
Yeah, I never left.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It banged you out. It just got you out of here. But you still, I don't know what happened. You still there? This is where I was going to go with it. You ready?
Yeah, I'm still here.
This is where I was going to go with. You have people who get like dental surgery, like they get they get the porcelain teeth, they go to Turkey, or they get the hair transplant, they go to Turkey and get it done. Do we do the same surgeries here?
Those are all cosmetic, and those are stuff that insurance don't cover.
Right, but my thing with the health insurance,
because they're considered cosmetic.
Right, my thing with the health insurance is, I wonder, like, if something like that, if those surgeries and butt lifts and all of those things, they get those things done overseas and stuff, right?
All cosmetic,
right? I get it.
Those aren't health. It's not health.
Right, it's cosmetic, but they can be done over here also, right?
Yeah, but at a higher rate. So
But
those
and that's
people will
my
go to Turkey to get stuff done.
and that's what I got to do research on because I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to start my research because I don't know exactly what the benefits are of having free healthcare or anything like that. But when I just look at those type of surgeries, the non like surgeries that you don't really need, the butt lifts, the porcelain teeth that
See,
look
but
great, and
see,
the new
but remember,
hairlines.
you have to
But Oos, hear me out. What I'm
remember you
saying
have
is,
to separate.
I am. But what I'm saying is, I got to see why is that price differential so crazy, and then there lies the probably part of the issue right there. Like there's something that America has a hold over the rest of the world because to my point, I don't see why you wouldn't just want to go somewhere else and just get a surgery done. Is there something about having things done in America that's more optimum? I'm just asking the question. I don't know.
Here's the thing. What you're speaking, remember you have to separate health insurance from vision and from dental. They're not all the same. They're different. When I say these people have free healthcare, they have free healthcare. Going to the doctor, physical checkups, uh, if something's wrong with your actual health, not that's not including your vision or your dental. That is all taken care of. I'm not sure when it comes to certain stuff like fertility, but it's one of those things where when it comes to cosmetic stuff, it's easier for people to go and say, hey, I'm going to take a trip to so and so, because those are people who have the wherewithal to do that. They're in a position where they can afford to say, hey, I can go ahead and take a flight and go to this place and get this done, and it's still going to be cheaper than doing veneers here. If I'm speaking on dental, I can do veneers in Beverly Hills right now. But I can also go to Turkey and pay a fraction of the price and get the same quality, if not better.
Right, and that I saw something. I saw something years ago about that. I think there was. I don't know if it was Taiwan somewhere where the hospitals look like hotels and it's beautiful. Like it's beautiful to go, and it's a lot cheaper to get surgeries done there than it is in the United States. And
But the
I want
thing
to know
is,
what the reason is because of that. Like why is that? Still don't think that's the
also,
reason why you
it's
you shoot somebody and kill somebody, but I'm
no, no,
just
no, no, no.
interested to
Nah,
know.
we're past that. We already morally sound. There's no reason to just kill somebody.
Right, but what is the reason why the
It's not an
healthcare?
eye for an eye type
Right.
situation
What is the reason
where
why the
someone
healthcare is so
is like,
high? That's important. Why is the healthcare so high? Because that's what it
because it's a
comes down. It
business.
comes down to the price. It comes
It's a
down to
business. We
cost.
live in a capitalistic country. This is a capitalistic country, and is health insurance in general is business, big business. Think about it. We have auto insurance for people who've never been in an accident, and they're paying the same price as people who get into an accident every week, damn near. Insurance is just a good is big
I
business.
was talking about that. The same thing when it comes to the banks and interest rates. I was talking to somebody the other day. Like I
Exactly.
hear about these. I hear about these higher interest rates that you'll get if your credit is lower, but I never see them. Like
It's
it's like it feels like once you qualify, but like where are
pretty
these
much.
extra higher interest rates? Like it's like, oh, because Usman, because your credit is so bad, I'm gonna charge you more for this because I'm gonna make you pay. Like we clearly see you can't pay, so we're gonna charge you more.
We're gonna charge you more, and then when your stuff is better, we charge you lower.
Yeah, I had a guy tell me that. I had a guy tell me that. He's like, "Yeah, man, get the credit up so I can give you the better interest rates. I don't want to give you a low interest rate. I want to say, because I don't know. I've never seen this actually played out with the lower interest rate. I mean, with the higher interest rate. And I had an opportunity before when I had a very high credit score, and I thought I was gonna get a better interest rate. Those things never happened either.
Like when it comes down to that, see, because we're gonna veer off into the crazy. We're gonna go down a crazy rabbit hole if we just do this. Ultimately, you look at something as simple as cost of living. If I said, hey, I think I want to move to Indonesia, I want to move to Bali, and you're trying to tell me I can get the equivalent of what I would pay $1,500 to $3,000 for a home, I can get that in Bali for $500 to $800 a month. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Well, I'm fine here. I'm
You
fine
see, but
here.
that's just it. You just said it right there. You're fine. You're fine here, but you're paying way more than
Right.
you would if you went. So when you constantly say stuff like, "What? Well, shouldn't they just go and get something done
I
someplace
didn't
else?"
say
And
shouldn't. I
some
said it's a possibility,
or
right? It's a possibility
but
to.
no, you said like, well, if they can't they just go ahead and do that stuff? Yeah, but they may say, "I'm comfortable here." Comfortability is one of the greatest
But
abilities.
one thing I was saying, I was comfortable here because I understand what the market is. I understand the quote unquote rules. I'm playing by those rules, so I'm comfortable with that right now in my situation. I guess I know that's particular to my situation, but I understand it that way. Like, okay, well, yeah, I'm okay here, but that's just particular to me, and I understand that.
Yeah,
But all I was
ultimately,
saying is,
it still comes down
I
to you
want to
being
know,
comfortable.
but I want to know the big thing is I want to know why. What is the and I'm gonna actually figure this out. This is gonna be part of my studies. What is and why is the big discrepancy with money when it comes to the surgeries in other countries and it come to here? I want to know the economics of it and what's the reason for that. Because I've heard that they had a whole documentary on Netflix about insurance companies and the business, shady business that they do. Maybe I should check it out again and like really focus on it and pay attention to it because that's interesting.
It's
Because
not.
it
It's
all
not.
boils down to
I
the
wouldn't. I
money.
wouldn't. I wouldn't go down to the point where we call it shady business because it's legal business. So it's not really shady business. It's one of those things where if we come from a moral place, it's a terrible. It's a terrible business
Like, why is
morally.
the price? What
But
I'm concerned with is why is the price so inflated? Like, what makes it different?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you this. Insurance companies. It's very interesting. I've seen people who wanted to get some type of work done when it comes to let's just say, for example, I've seen providers, which is considered the doctors or whatever, they they have a set rate for certain services. When it comes to dealing with certain insurance companies, they work out, they negotiate a price point for their client under this thing. So if it's like whatever it is, let's say it's $1,500 to get a certain procedure done.
Right.
If I have my deductible already paid off for, and let's say my insurance company is paying 80%. So I'm only coming out of pocket for 20% unless I have my deductible paid off and I also paid off like everything. Then we may get to a point where it's like 100% that's being paid off. Then you get your money's worth. But most people don't actually get to pay off their deductible. And if they do pay off the deductible, they don't get it to the point of where they paid off the deductible and they paid off everything else after.
That being said, Oos, check this out. I figured out a way that it can possibly work better, and it's never happened. Free market health, meaning take the government out of it. Do you know how many doctors will be able to provide health care for you?
That's nice to say.
Unregulated by law, but it'll be there.
But
Like somebody be willing to do the surgery for you. It happened in Poland before where
yeah,
they
but
were
they're not doing it
racist.
for
Check it
twenty
out. They were
dollars.
racist. They were racist until they needed health care. And they would go to the Jew doctors and get things done by the Jews because they needed it. It was important. It was a necessity. So they didn't mind who did and how much and if it was regulated or not. Because they didn't want
That's just
Jews
it.
doing any work, but they
You're
still got
coming
the.
from a place.
Mhm.
You're not thinking about the majority. You're thinking about those who can afford it. Because if they go into a free market, it's only going to be for those who can afford it. That therein lies the issue. The people who are complaining the most are not the people who can't afford it, it's the people who can't.
But what I'm saying is they can't afford it because there's regulations on it. There will be a doctor.
There,
That means that surgery now will be like, I guess, competition. How much did this surgery cost? How much does it cost here? I can go somewhere else and see. And this person, I heard this person is doing it for this
it's
much.
going to work. It'll work in reverse. People are not paying prices. The prices aren't going to go lower. Wes,
Well,
it's, it's
I
certain
think.
it's certain
See,
things where they hit
I'm
the
not too sure,
insurance.
huh?
They hit the insurance. Like basically, if I had something that paid $1,500, my insurance, let's say my insurance covered everything, it's supposed to be $1,500. For that same thing, it might be $600 if I have no insurance.
And that's a good situation,
Right.
right? If let's say I had to pay that $1,500, I didn't pay my deductible, so that $1,500 would go towards my deductible, if not pay off my deductible. But that's through the insurance. But if I go with no insurance, it's $600.
Right.
That's one of the good situations. There are situations like that, but they also have situations where there's something that's $20,000, but with the insurance, it's going to be $5,000.
And now my question to you is, how much is it in Taiwan, or one of the countries that you're talking about? How much is that same thing in one of those countries?
Wes, then that goes to cost of living. That differs from place to place. We can go state to state.
No, but I'm telling that's the information that would just help it out a little bit more, so I can see exactly how much it costs in those other countries that you were talking about, you were referring to. So then now we can see like, oh, okay, so this is the big price difference. Like real quick, is there like a market rate for heart surgery? Like I don't know.
That price will differ because what they pay in their country is what they may charge their people. What they may charge us may be more than what we would pay here, because we're not citizens of those countries. Because I can go ahead and say I have free health care in Europe because I'm a citizen of Europe now. Congratulations, Oos. You don't have to pay nothing for healthcare.
Now, when they say free healthcare in Europe, if you needed heart surgery, you just go in like, oh, we figured out Usman needs heart surgery. So
I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly what it is because I'm not.
Right. No, because I'm just interested. Like because that surgery has to be paid for, right? And even
if it does have to be paid for, it's usually going to be at a lower rate.
Okay.
Than what we would pay here.
And that's what I want to know. Why is that? Is it because of the materials that cost more materials when it comes here to America? Is that just the way it is with the price? How is that? What is that?
Tax everything. America tax everything. America's taxing everything, and it's about to get worse when in the next presidential term, because he wants to put tariffs on everything. Everyone's like, yeah, he's gonna be taxing China. Who do you think gonna be paying the taxes? Tariffs are taxes. Who's gonna pay it? The consumers.
So I'm not saying you're saying this. I'm not saying you're saying this, but the taxes can be raised depending on. I'm just asking you, according to what you're raising them for. Like if there was free healthcare and the taxes got raised tremendously, that would justify the raising in the taxes for somebody who's working. Because at some point, like to your point, maybe you could just take the money from somewhere else. You said like providing for wars and stuff and put it towards the free healthcare.
Well, you always throw in a little bit like that.
What?
You said providing for what?
Wars.
Oh, you said wars. I thought you said something else because you always.
Oh no! This was it wasn't nothing like that. Nothing like that. No pause. But I'm saying is reallocate the money towards the free healthcare.
Yeah, they can reallocate money. There's tons of money that aren't used. There's tons of money that's supposed to go towards small businesses that never goes to it. What happens with that money? There's so much money that's allocated for certain things that are never used. What happens to that money?
The politicians, I can see where, I don't know if this is the case, but I can see where politicians and government officials, they find out that people haven't taken advantage of this money. There's a certain time limit for this money and they keep the money. I can see situations where that happens, right?
If they don't take it directly and say, hey, we do this. But you also have to understand that
they set it up so they can get the money.
They can, whether it's through a friend that they know or anything of that nature, where they're like, oh, we're giving government contracts for this and that and that and this. Yeah, there's a lot of money that's not being used that can be reallocated to that.
We never had a situation where the government just stayed and mind their business and just protected people's rights.
The government is not. They're not. The government is. I mean, you know how I feel about.
No, I get it, but they're just in the way too much. They're just in the way, and I think what happens is when it comes to economics and politics, it's like multifaceted. It's so many different ways you can go. You take from one thing, it changes something else. it's more of a give and take than it is like this one policy that can just make everything work.
It has to be a give and take, because sometimes you need the government in.
It's trade-offs. There are trade-offs when it comes to certain things.
Sometimes you need the government in, because you have people should not be criminalized for their choices with their own body.
Right, but we never. What I'm saying is, we never had a situation where the government was out, like stay out of the individual person's business. No, there was never a situation where the government was out of it, out of people's business and stuff like that.
I wouldn't know.
There was never. We never had an example of that. There was never an example of that.
Not in my lifetime.
No, not at all.
At the end of the day, it's like, so it is what it is. They're never going to change, because that's the way they have the power. If there's no, because the thing is, everyone looks to the president and think that that's where the power lies and everything like that. Presidents are not lawmakers. It's your senators, it's your representatives from the House. They're the ones who are creating the laws and everything like that. President just either says yay or nay. I'm either going to pass it or I'm not. Which means I'm basically going to sign it or not. So when that comes down to it, it's like, my thing is adapt to what's happening, adapt to the moment, and be very aware, read, so you can see what's going on in the moment. You can understand how you can pivot. Pivot is going to be such a crucial word and mindset for everyone in this future, because the way things are is not built for the masses.
You gotta be well me, I like to call it, like I said, I'm a rational opportunist. I'm a rational opportunist. Let me look at it. Let me look at the situation. Let me read all of the facts that are available. The more, the better. And I'll come with the conclusion that possibly makes the most sense. Just like a video game, just like a sports game. Once I know the rules, I can come up with my own philosophy and how I want to attack the game. And the way I'm going to do that is through morally, my morals, my ethics, all of that, the way I'm going to attack the game. Some people just go willy-nilly and do whatever they want to do. And usually those people are coaches or people that attack the game that way aren't successful in the long run. So that's how I look at it, man. Bro, I appreciate you coming on and being on all day and taking up all of the time. It was dope. I didn't even get a chance to see how I'm gonna be able to do my monologues and just talk by myself, but that was pretty cool.
Nah,
that was cool. Pretty cool. And you wanted to find a way to argue with me somehow. That was all good. See, I told you I wasn't gonna fall into the trap. I told you. I hear your point of view and I understand where you were coming from. You articulated it well. There was no reason to challenge or go back and forth or anything like that. Nah, not at all. That's like I said, and that's what I want to present. There's people that have their ideas just flow and talk and just talk. That's it, man. Nothing forced. Like I said, nothing forced. We did discuss the drones, right? You want to address what? You want to put a dress?
I want. No.
I thought with you. Go ahead. Go.
I want to address Robert's comment with the coverage. That's something that I have heard people speak on, with the lack of coverage for school shootings compared to the coverage for the CEO. It comes down to, they've normalized school shootings in America. It has been normalized. We should not be normalized. Like, I can think about when we were younger, the first school shooting that I can remember was Columbine.
Rook, I got to write these things down. The school shootings was one, and the other one we got to figure out is why the gap in the healthcare for other countries. Because one of these things is, I understand there's school shootings, but I don't quite know the numbers. Like, I can't even see the comments. I don't know what's going on. I can't see the comment. But so what is being said about the school shootings? What, I don't understand what's going on.
Because it seemed Robert was saying, why was there more coverage on the CEO being shot and killed than school shooting? And it's, from what I'm seeing, and this is just a surface level answer possibly, but because they have normalized school shootings in America, there is no, when it comes to, remember, media is all about negative elevation and everything like that. Because a school shooting has become normalized, it's sad. People, they cry about it for a few days, a week, or whatever. And those who aren't directly attached to that situation remove themselves. They're on to the next thing.
Hey, Oos, let me ask you a question.
When it came,
Is it possible? This is still along the same lines. Do you think it's possible for there to be a school shooting, right? No one gets killed, and it's still called a school shooting, and we just don't hear about it? Like, think about it. Back in the day, if somebody let a gun off in Irvington High, and we heard guns, and we heard one gun go off, nobody know where the gun, who shot the gun, or whatever. Would that have been big news and put all over the? Well, nowadays it would have, but it wouldn't be as big.
Nowadays.
It wouldn't have been as big. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, is it the whole media thing? The change in media has made this. You know, it seems like every single thing would be. Yeah.
Mainstream media has, they're about negative elevation.
But Oos, to Rob's point, why would it not be elevated? I think like the news is like publish or perish, where it's like whatever I got to do is put anything out.
Be elevated.
Meaning, why wouldn't anything be elevated? Like I don't check.
Here's the thing.
Hear me out. TMZ posts like 100 times, 200 times a day. If that came out, right, a school shooting, let almost like an economy, let the market decide and let the people decide what's important. So maybe the people decided that wasn't as important as the CEO shooting, because the algorithm is only going to put in front of your face what people are liking and what they're looking at. So the people decided that was more important, I guess, when it comes to the school shootings. Like, I don't think somebody said, put this out more than anything else, this particular post or whatever.
Exactly. That's why I said they've normalized school shootings. That should not be normal for kids and those adults who are educating the children.
But who normalized? Society has normalized it.
Society, which is also mainstream media, who are putting the news out there, who are putting this stuff out there. We've become immune as a society to things like that, and we should not be immune to people dying. Because even with this, they still made a joke of this man's death. That's the whole point. That's like, is mind blowing. Somebody really lost their life, and it's a joke to people.
Not only a joke, I saw people that actually thought that it made sense for him to lose. Now check it out. I saw people. This is the problem. I have people that say it made sense for him to lose his life because all of the hear me